In the history of human conflict, the loudest explosions often occur on the front lines. But in 2026, the most devastating blows are being felt in the bank accounts of the world's most powerful military machines, where the brutal war of attrition on the battlefield meets a sophisticated air war designed to make continuing the conflict financially impossible. The theater of war has expanded into a second front, where long-range missiles and drone swarms bombard critical infrastructure nightly to inflict damage so severe that progress on the ground becomes irrelevant. Ukraine has begun zeroing in on the heart of the Russian war machine, targeting military facilities and the military-industrial complex with a precision that has resulted in a successful strike on a major military target every 3 days. These operations are dubbed Kinetic Sanctions because they aim to starve the enemy of the revenues needed to fund their defense budget, which has soared to nearly $177 billion. One of the most consequential strategies involves the hunt for the Shadow Fleet, which is a collection of nearly 1,000 aging tankers used to bypass global restrictions and transport millions of barrels of oil. These vessels are the lifeblood of the sanctioned economy, but they are now facing a surge in external impacts and underwater explosions that have taken at least 11 tankers out of action in a single year. Replacing just one of these ships costs roughly $50 million, and losing a full cargo of crude oil can set a nation back over $200 million in a single night. The impact of these strikes is not just physical, but economic, as insurance rates for trading in high-risk zones have increased by as much as 300%, making it incredibly dangerous and expensive to export energy. Beyond the sea, the air war is targeting the nervous system of the industrial complex, including plants that produce cruise missiles and microelectronic components used in advanced weaponry. One major operation involves smuggling drones into enemy territory and launching them from specially designed trucks to strike strategic nuclear bombers parked in the open. This attack caught the military completely by surprise and destroyed multiple high-value aircraft before they could even leave the ground. By hitting the specialized factories that produce drones and electronic warfare equipment, a smaller force can paralyze a much larger army by taking out the specific nodes required for modern combat. The direct financial damage to these facilities has already exceeded $1 billion, while the total cost of lost revenue and indirect impacts has reached over $13 billion. This is the new reality of warfare, where the backline has become the front line, and the most important battle is the one being fought against the enemy economy to ensure they can no longer justify the continuation of the war to their financial elites. As crude oil deliveries to refineries drop to their lowest levels in 15 years, the pressure continues to mount. Every strike on an oil depot or a fuel reservoir is a step toward making the war machine grind to a halt, because without the 11 trillion rubles generated by energy exports, the federal budget cannot sustain the massive increase in military spending. While the economic siege tightens, the second side of this air war is delivering a reciprocal and devastating blow that targets the very survival of the civilian population. The scale of these nightly bombardments consistently exceeded the strikes on refineries, often by several times, as the military strategy shifts from targeting industrial nodes to dismantling a national energy grid. In a single year, over 2,400 missiles and more than 10,000 drones have been launched in a massive effort to overwhelm air defense systems through sheer volume. Even with high interception rates, the sheer number of projectiles means that thousands of long-range drones are still reaching their targets, and the results are catastrophic for ordinary people living in the middle of a brutal winter, where temperatures regularly drop below 14 degrees Fahrenheit. The available generating capacity of the nation has plummeted from over 33 gigawatts to just 14 gigawatts, which represents a loss of roughly 2/3 of the pre-war power levels. This destruction includes nearly 90